What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Evil Ewok podcast. We are all here. The gang is here. Kat, Alex, how are you guys doing on this fine Tuesday night?
I'll let Kat go.
Everyone's low energy this evening, so we're gonna have to I should have taken.
Yeah, we're gonna have to pump ourselves up. With it.
At least the chat is hyped. We got Charlie, Wevin, Serena.
Let's go.
Sebastian.
Yay!
What's up, everybody?
The homie Seabass. What up?
Finally join for one. Hell yeah.
Sweet.
Wednesday morning, not Tuesday night. Well, for us, it is Tuesday night still.
That's true.
For another hour.
And we're the only ones that matter.
Yeah.
Our time zone is superior.
Yes.
And we even lost an hour.
Maybe that's what we're all drained.
Maybe, yeah. It's technically midnight for us. So that's why maybe we're like, this is normally when we'd be watching something, not commentating or talking.
Yeah, just getting ready for the night. Oh my god.
Yeah. We would be
isn't it technically 10 for us? So that doesn't make sense. Because you spring forward, you gain an hour. So
yeah.
Right?
Oh, we lost an hour.
We lost an hour
of sleep.
So, so it would
lose
be
an
10.
hour of sleep, so it's 10.
It would be 10. That's right.
But we're just sleep deprived from that one. We lose 1 hour and it throws off our whole week. We're like, ugh.
What's up, Obsession? Time change hit for us last night. Yeah, I hate daylight savings. I would go on such a rant about daylight savings time.
We should just move to Arizona. They just kind of keep.
Okay, but time. I did not learn until this freaking year that they don't abide by daylight savings. They literally just do their own thing. So for one half of the year, they're on mountain time. Is that what it is? Mountain? Is it literally Pacific, Mountain, Central, Eastern?
Dude, honestly, I think Arizona is like its own country and its own time zone, its own equator, and
they're
its own
just
everything. Because Maria's from Arizona, and anytime we do any meeting, she sets it, and then it's like her time doesn't change, but everyone from the UK, from here, everyone, it changes for everyone else except for her. Hers is always pretty much the same thing, and I'm like, wow, that must be nice. So I like to wake up knowing that you're probably not going to have a time change, or you're probably going to get an extra hour of sleep.
Thank you, World War II. That is pretty much why
allegedly,
we do it.
Though. I mean, aren't they saying this year could be the last?
I believe the House of Representatives voted to get rid of it, and then the Senate just kind of let it die. And so we're continuing.
They just kind of held it hostage, and they're like, "Bro, we can out pillage you." They're literally sieging the castle, and they're just like, bro, you guys gonna give up or what? And that's basically what happened.
Basically. But let's get into some Star Wars, where I don't think they have daylight savings time there, because that would be a pain in the ass to make sure
this next episode is all about losing an hour of sleep, and Grogu can't cope.
Oh my god.
That would hit pretty close to home.
Yeah.
But where does Din go from here? Because a lot of shit just went down for this man. He got basically kidnapped, drugged, looked like blood was being sucked out of him, and then he got dragged into a almost bottomless pit of water by a gigantic dragon beast known as the Mythosaur. So where do you think Mandalorian's going to go from here? Not just him as a character, but I feel like the show is also at a very crucial jumping off point. So what are your guys' thoughts on the direction this might take?
Yeah, I mean, from here on out, it's like uncharted territory, because I was fully under the impression that his quest to go to Mandalore was going to occupy the entirety of the season. And now that it is said and done, it's like, okay. I mean, I prefer this. I prefer not knowing what to expect. I mean, my best guess, he has to go and rally with the Children of the Watch and somehow offer proof. Again, I know I said it last week, but I think Bo-Katan is the only other eyewitness aside from Grogu to attest to the fact that he actually bathed in the waters. Are they just going to take his word for it? I don't know. That'd be very intriguing to see if they even believe him and re-accept him. Or if there's some sort of altercation, because he rolls in with Bo-Katan, who we know the armorer is not a fan of. So
Yeah, I just need to get out of Last of Us mode because that's all I've been thinking about lately. Like it's just been crazy. But getting back into Star Wars mode, yeah, because I just realized the last episode basically concluded everything that we were, like you said, witnessing in the trailer and where we thought that the entire season was going to go. And obviously, that isn't as compelling as where it seems to be going now.
Right.
I was honestly generally worried that the entire plot and the entire journey is just going to be about him redeeming himself, right? But it seems to be a lot more complicated than that. And it seems like they moved that all pretty quick. And now we're in episode 3 or 4. I'm sorry,
3.
So tonight's going to be 3.
Correct.
Okay, yeah. So we still got a lot of exploring to do, and the fact that the trailer shots are basically all shown. There's a lot that they didn't want to show, and that's exciting. I think. Do you think we're gonna get temple flashbacks in this episode, or do you think that'll still be reserved for a couple more episodes? Because if we do, that literally means there's hardly anything left to imagine from the trailer and predict from the trailer, right?
I've just been I can't really, because the last time he saw those flashbacks, he was with Luke, so I don't know what would bring those on. That's really what's got me scratching my head.
Maybe
is why
everyone's like talking about their past, maybe, or Bo-Katan asks about Grogu and what actually happened to him or something. I don't know. I can think that's probably what's gonna happen.
Hey Grogu, remember that time the Jedi?
That one time when like all of you like died. So like, what happened? And then he's just like, and then he just goes into a flashback.
Poor baby. Yeah, I mean, realistically, that plus Coruscant, and a few other clips of like the Imperial antagonist characters that we haven't seen, obviously, I think are all that remains from that. At least I can recall from the trailers that we've yet to see. Plus some other what looks like aerial fight scenes, but
yeah, is that ship that we see for the most part, like I guess running away from fighters, is that Bo-Katan's ship? I need to look at it again. Is it a different ship altogether completely?
Oh, good observation. I would not know off the top of my head. This is the one that's like flying through the what looks like the Grand Canyon type landscape. I wouldn't know.
I don't even remember the shot.
Okay.
We are all just so tired right now. We're just like, well, anyway.
Whatever you say.
Well, it doesn't help. It really doesn't help that I'm like sick, but and I've been on meds all day. But the armor said in Book of Boba Fett that it was foretold that this mythosaur would be rising up to herald the new age of Mandalore. Yeah, but. Well, actually, no. There was a TV spot where we saw like a dome, like a biome of sorts, if you will, basically implying that there is already a new Mandalore or something like that.
I think that was a flashback, right? I thought, wasn't it like Mandalore getting
Is that
bombed?
going to be the flashback part? Because I thought that was like a completely different planet. What didn't even look like Mandalore. I could be wrong.
Is it the shot at night where like Imperial fighters are flying
over?
No,
there's like a daytime shot. Let's see if I can find it. It was like a TV spot, and everyone was talking about it being like, "Oh my god, they already have new biomes for their cities established." I'm probably going to see more Mandalorian warfare again because they can never seem to unite.
Yeah, honestly, I would rather see a conflict between Bo-Katan side and the armor side than see the Imperials just get involved again and try to take Grogu. I'd rather see a Mandalorian conflict.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys agree, but I'm just kind of tired of the whole like I want to take Grogu and experiment on him or whatever thing.
Yeah, I think an internal rift is overdue, and you know, Bo-Katan, I think they are perhaps foreshadowing that with her. I mean, she was like the best part of last episode, and her reminiscing about, you know, Mandalore and its peak times, but you know how she's more salty now about looking in hindsight that they kind of summoned their downfall upon themselves, like by going against each other at any possible opportunity and just tearing themselves apart from the inside out. And of course, the Empire, didn't help that. But I think that could be really good. I mean, to me, that felt like seeds being planted. Like they literally lost everything, but she still has this grudge. Like we still can't freaking unite each other and get along. So that would be cool.
Kind of like the Star Wars fandom.
Hey! Oh my god, is this them making a commentary about?
Are we all Mandalorians?
Self-aware.
Dr. Pershing definitely comes back into the picture. Must get Grogu and takes him back to Coruscant. Man, do have to say.
The Coruscant.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was commenting. Like, I don't really want to see that, but I know we're going to. I'd rather just see a.
Maybe Pershing's not looking for Grogu necessarily, but I feel like maybe on Coruscant we'll see more of like what he's actually up to, like what projects or cloning endeavors he's involved in. Like I think each season they've gradually like hinted at it, and I always forget about this episode because it was so subtle. But I think it's episode 5 or maybe 4 of season 2 when they go to that weird abandoned outpost and there's all these like weird morphed clone thing, for lack of a better word. Yeah, so I feel like they've gradually introduced that idea. Like I think they need to solidify, okay, what is he actually doing? Like what is like Moff Gideon's motive as well? I need more motive right now from the overarching antagonists.
Right.
Yeah, when do you think we'll see Moff?
Probably that Pershing episode. I think he's going to visit him in prison or something, maybe.
Ooh, that would be sweet.
Or did they say where he was being kept imprisoned? Because
not that I'm aware of. Chat, do you guys know where he is?
Because
I've been looking for that.
A Republic tribunal.
It was just a throwaway line with Cara Dune,
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Got him, and they didn't really say anything about the details of it. It was just boom. That's it.
Yeah. So, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I think the reason why I don't want to really do this whole steal Grogu and experiment on him plotline is because I think it's all but confirmed that this is them trying to explain Palpatine's return, and I just don't think you can really explain that in a good way. I just feel like it's always going to be tarnished by how it was portrayed in The Rise of Skywalker. And I think they're just trying to Clone Wars it, where it's like, oh, we can retroactively make these movies better, but you can't do it because the sequels doesn't have a good cohesive story. It's a mess. And the prequels did have a great cohesive story. It just didn't have the time to fully explore all these concepts. And that's what the Clone Wars did beautifully. I don't think you can Clone Wars the sequels. And I'm scared that that's what they're going to try to do.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I think that, they're trying to do damage control in a lot of ways. They're going to try to figure out how to get it to where everything makes sense, but it's so tough when the source material already doesn't make sense. So it's like, I don't know. I agree. Do you think they'll do anything with like, I don't know, maybe there's like this whole episode's like taming a mythosaur, and then because they tame the mythosaur, they have the sigil backing them, and then they can unite all of Mandalore or something. Do you think there's going to be any of that here, or do you think it's just going to be like, holy shit, I saw the mythosaur, I'm in denial, I'm not even going to bring it up from Bo? What do you think?
Yeah, because right now she's the only one, unless Din's eyes happen to be open and he suddenly regained consciousness as soon as they breached the water. But like, I don't.
Yeah, no, he was passed out. He felt fast too.
He felt pretty fast, right? That was such a deep. I don't even know what to call it. Bottomless
like 200
pit.
feet deep at least.
Literally,
that was crazy.
He sank right to the bottom. I don't know. I frankly don't want to see. If it's true and this episode's runtime is like 45 minutes plus, I don't know if I need 45 minutes of mythosaur taming, but it's definitely like conquering animals and creatures is certainly a theme in The Mandalorian with each season, so I wouldn't be surprised.
It might be like an episode where we see two different perspectives. That's probably why it's longer. Maybe we'll see a little bit of Din and Bo. Yeah, maybe Din and Bo are just like, doing their thing on Mandalore, and then we kind of cut back and forth between maybe Coruscant this time.
Yeah.
That's probably what's going to happen. Do we know what the episode is titled at all, or no?
Do we ever know until the opening?
We really don't, huh? There's no way of knowing.
No.
To answer your earlier question, I think it's gonna be. I could see them doing the whole like, oh, we saw a mythosaur, and then everybody else is like, yeah, right. You didn't see a freaking mythosaur, and then later on in the season, it's revealed, and they're like, oh my god, they were telling the truth.
We should have listened.
Yeah, because mythosaurs have been extinct for thousands of years. I mean, it'd be like if a freaking saber-toothed tiger or something showed up while you were out hiking. Nobody would believe you. I would think you were insane if you came to me and were like, I saw a saber-toothed tiger while I was hiking. That'd be ludicrous. Like,
so the title of this tweet was episode 2, Mandalorian season 3. Episode 2 summary. No context needed.
This, my friend, is the home of my cousin Barnhill, and they call it a mine.
A mine.
This is
a mine.
Oh god.
It's a tomb. I love it.
That's hysterical.
Oh, I saw that scrolling down. I'm like, I have to share this. Zach's gonna love this.
They even had the Watcher in the water, kind of like this creature in the water.
Yeah. It's like, oh my god, it'd be so funny if it's just like they just watch all the old famous franchises and they're like, what can we like take from this? It's like, let's just take that. That one. I want that one, please, and that one, and we'll just kind of repurpose it.
What's up, Draco?
Draco Blackbird.
Malfoy. What's up, Darn?
You play Hogwarts
Poor Draco probably can't go through life if that is your real name. You probably can't go through life without anybody.
This is Hogwarts legacy name.
Malfoy.
Should have had a lifeguard on duty.
He should have brought a lifeguard with him.
Oh god.
I was gonna say, I think I mentioned this last week, but Dave Filoni is a pretty big Lord of the Rings fan, so I don't know if he had any input on this episode or not.
Oh my god.
I could see him being all like, "Hey, it's mine's a Mandalore, mine's a Moria. It's the same thing."
Let's make it all like mysterious and shit. And they're like, okay. Like, you see this frame here? It's from Dragonheart, not Harry Potter. Oh, I haven't seen Dragonheart in so long.
What is Dragonheart? Dang, that's gonna be so annoying for uncultured people like us who don't know what that is, or at least I can't speak for the whole group, but that's gonna be so annoying for you want to reference another IP,
plebe.
And we're all just like,
swine.
Draco Malfoy.
You're just like, oh my god,
Potter.
You intolerable.
He probably just left the stream right after that. Screw these guys.
What the hell is happening?
Draco, give us a sign that you're here.
I'm watching the train to work now. Nice. Have everyone next to you watch it too.
Yeah, get everybody on the train to watch Jarn.
Watch train.
Din has also encountered giant spiders. He's encountered giant spiders. He's encountered like a woolly rhino. He's all kinds of stuff.
Pedro Pascal has really gone through the ringer, man.
He's gotten his head crushed.
Yeah. He's gotten blood drawn out of him.
He fought the cartel. He fought
the cartel.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. Man.
The mountain.
Yeah, the mountain.
And now he faces his toughest test yet, being a father. Pedro Pascal in The Mandalorian.
Oh my god.
Grogu's dad. Yeah. Rated PG-13. Oh god. What was that? What was that skip from?
I'm always conflicted when I'm asked which franchise my favorite Lord of the Rings or Star Wars. I think that kids who grew up, like people our age who grew up in the early 2000s, love both of them near equally. Those were my childhood. Those
just
6
so
movies.
Different too. Like they're so different in a lot of ways. So it's really tough to like look at those and be like, yeah, objectively or subjectively, I think Star Wars is way better, because it's like there's no way you can even say that. It's really tough.
It's the hardest. I don't even think still, if you like told me you have to choose now, like I don't even know what I would. It's also like I learned through Rings of Power that I thought the Star Wars fandom had its ups and downs, but the Lord of the Rings fandom seemingly was dormant for so long and came out with the most vitriol I've ever
60
seen.
years.
It's been 84 years. What does she say?
Yeah, it's been 84 years. Yeah.
Oh,
James Cameron just loves to drown Kate Winslet, by the way. I don't know if you guys have noticed that.
Oh yeah.
She got drowned yet again in Avatar, and I'm like, bro, can you just like not do that?
Wait, what? Who wasn't her character? I don't even know.
She
who
was the chief's wife.
Yeah,
Was
she was one
drowned.
Well, she was like
just submerged underwater for
She was
a long
submerged
time.
underwater for a while, and
I think
she
Kate
survived,
Winslet,
just like she survived in Titanic.
right. I think she said that she trained herself to hold her breath. I might be way out of the ballpark. I think she said 7 minutes she learned to hold her breath whilst filming
Did she grow
Way
gills?
of Water.
Yeah, she grew gills out.
She
used gillyweed. That's what she
did
used.
full
Gillyweed.
method acting. Gillyweed.
Yeah. Wait, that's a real
Look at
thing.
this freaking Potterhead down here.
Yeah, my mind. I haven't even seen Harry Potter, or I didn't even play the game. I haven't done anything in so long,
What?
and yet pulling out references everywhere from Harry Potter. What is this? Like, my brain only works for Harry Potter references right now. So weird. I would never. When have I ever mentioned Harry Potter? Now I'm like mentioning it nonstop. What is wrong
Rarely.
with
Yeah,
me?
you're on a roll.
What are your, since we're on the topic of Harry Potter, real briefly, what are your houses?
Hufflepuff.
Oh, I'm like Ravenclaw, because I'm like that one that like no one knows, but also they probably like to party. So
We're the non-mainstream ones.
yeah. They probably smoke a lot too, Ravenclaw. So I'm like, yeah,
Zach,
I'll probably be like that.
I have a suspicion that you're a Slytherin.
You are correct.
Yeah.
I am a Slytherin.
Yeah, Zach's like a hidden psychopath.
No, okay, that's what I hate about. That's like one of the things I hate about Harry Potter. They were just like Slytherin equals bad, except for Snape.
It's like, why don't they just expel their asses? Like,
I know they're all like little fascists. Like they're basically Nazis in the book. Like,
yeah,
that's all they are.
Yeah, they're like the Aryan. Yeah, exactly. And it's like you just put them on one house. They're like, we don't really want to deal with them. So we'll just put them there, and they can do whatever they want to like the other houses and put everyone else in jeopardy.
Basically,
and we'll punish them accordingly.
The message the books are trying to tell the kids are like, everybody is unique and good in different ways, except for Slytherins. F those guys.
Yeah, they all suck.
Evil.
Even the professors seemingly don't like them. Like, I almost just said Gandalf. Dumbledore at any point he could. Dumbledore was trying
We're getting everything mixed up right now.
Steal points from them left and right and give them to Gryffindor where he could. So
yeah, Snape was the best. I would love to make a video on Snape. It's just anytime I ever mention anything about making a Harry Potter edit of any sort, I get crucified. They're like, don't you dare do anything Harry Potter related, you son of a bitch. And I'm like,
I think you're secretly just a massive Harry Potter fan. You don't even like Star Wars. You're just like, I just want to make Harry Potter content, but it doesn't sell.
Like, I have no idea why I'm making all these fire Harry Potter references tonight. It's just a coincidence.
I would be more than willing to admit if I've been watching them relentlessly and been playing the game endlessly, but I have been doing neither of them.
Like, I would tell you guys.
I'm like ashamed of it. There's no way.
Yeah, Draco, this is personally your fault. This is all your fault. But before we get back to Star Wars, I do want to say you pulled out freaking gillyweed. I think probably 95% of people on the planet don't know what gillyweed is. So you might be a Potterhead, my friend.
Yeah, but not really. Like, I think I can get most of the references from like the movies because I've seen all of them quite a few times over the years. But as far as the books go, there's a lot of stuff in there that I would be like, no, I have no idea.
Have you guys watched Fantastic Beasts? I'm admittedly like a fake fan because I've never even watched a
single one of Amanda refuses to acknowledge him because they got rid of Johnny Depp.
Oh, but they brought in Mads Mikkelsen. Okay, let's be real. He is something else.
He's a mad lad.
Justice for Johnny.
Yeah, I did see him. The first one was okay, and then after that is a disaster. They were both
really?
pretty bad movies.
First one where like that emo kid is Ezra, who's now on
Freedom.
drugs.
Emo kid.
Yeah,
It's all like pissed off, and then he explodes.
yeah,
Like yeah, okay.
and
That one was okay.
He doesn't stop being emo either. He's
Yeah.
emo the whole way.
Okay, I like emo kids though, so this
Yeah,
was
well, I mean,
not
everyone loves emo
deterring me.
Well, no, the emo kid wasn't meant to be like a negative connotation. I'm just saying
He
that's
had that
literally
long
the
black
trait that
hair.
he is. Yeah. Or the character that he is. And yeah, the first one was good, but I don't know if I saw the second one. I don't even know if are there 3 or are there just
There's
2?
3. The second one was one of the worst written movies I've ever seen in my entire
Okay.
life.
So that's probably why I haven't seen it.
And they're done, correct? They're
Yeah,
not
they got
no
canceled.
more.
They're done.
Straight up canceled.
Yeah.
Oh. I
Emo
didn't
Peter
realize.
Parker is the best.
I love emo Peter Parker. Anyways, Alex, you wanted to talk about something. The viewership for Mandalorian season 3 premiere.
Yes, I can pull up the article. I guess we can talk about
We're getting
that.
back to Star Wars, everybody. In case you forgot.
Unfortunately, we can talk about Star Wars now.
Yeah.
Listen,
Damn it. It's like
Maybe-
we're Kat, honestly, we should have just done a Last of Us finale stream. That would have been so much fun.
we should. Okay, we have to do one for Succession, dude. I'm serious.
Okay, let's do one every week for Succession.
For
I'm down.
Succession,
I'll do it.
please, this month.
Okay. And then we won't come back because I gotta go watch it outside, but we'll do it beforehand. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Star Wars spin-off series, which helped Disney Plus, which helped launch Disney Plus in 2019, reached the top of the streaming viewership charts based on trends collected from Samba TV, as reported via The Wrap. Which I don't know either of those sources, so I have no idea if it's accurate, but we'll just keep going. But there's cause for concern. While the Mandalorian season 3 premiere episode, Chapter 17, The Apostate, topped Andor September 21 premiere by 50%. It actually trailed fellow Star Wars offering ObiWan Kenobi's opener by 28%, and in a closer number, Book of Boba Fett by 2%. And what's actually really interesting about that data is from the tweets or whatever that you see, they make it seem like it blew away. It was like detrimental to like Star Wars, and that no one could have imagined this coming, and Star Wars is dead, and it's like Book of Boba Fett beat it by like 2,000,000%, and Obi-Wan Kenobi beat it by 2,000,000%. But these numbers are pretty close. And I feel like it just is kind of it is kind of an inkling that like, hey, look, Star Wars is kind of in like a weird state right now. Everyone liked Andor for the most part. People were kind of upset about Kenobi, so now it's like we're getting more Mandalorian, but we're kind of upset about Grogu returning, but we're also not upset about it, so we don't really know how to feel. And I feel like the data definitely reflects that. Do you think that there's like Star Wars fatigue going on?
You go, Zach. I heard you take a deep breath in.
No, I don't. I think that, especially seeing the percentages now, I think you can explain that away by saying Boba Fett came out probably during Christmas break, so there are probably more people able to watch it. And then Obi-Wan Kenobi is freaking Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, of course, it's gonna get higher percentages. If, like you said, Alex, if it were like 1,000,000%, the percentages were like a huge difference, then sure. But 2% is negligible.
Yeah, I wouldn't say. I'm not shocked at all. Like, obviously, it was Kenobi. That was the most hyped show, the build up, the anticipation, and it probably just reached a wider audience of people who hadn't been previously watching any of the Disney Plus content until you bring in one with the legacy characters. So, like, that doesn't bother me at all. I think it's just a combination of factors. I'm curious what you guys think about, for example, like, the Mandalorian's return in Book of Boba Fett was super hype, and it was very cool, and we were all obviously like starved for Mando following that like season 2 finale, and it had been a while. Like, I think his reappearance in that show was, I mean, those are some of the best episodes of Book of Boba Fett. I know that was a huge part of the discourse about that show. Like, did Mando steal Boba's spotlight here? But I feel like in a way, having him cameo in a different show kind of almost diminished the long-awaited nature of the return. However, It's also been this has been like the longest stretch that we have had between Mandalorian seasons. No, it's been like literally almost 2 years. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It was 2020, right? Late 2020?
Sweet Lord, yeah, like that's a
When did the first
long
season drop?
time.
Or was it 2021?
Eh,
It all blurs together.
right. I feel like it might be
Mandalorian
2021.
season
It was
1
2020.
premiere.
It premiered on October 30th of 2020.
Season 1 was November 12th, 2019.
When was the season 2 finale?
Season 2 premiere was October 30th. So it
So
was
it's been of 2020?
2.5 years, yeah.
No way. So it's been so long, and I don't know about you guys, but like there's been other shows that I've been watching and they like took that long between seasons and I like straight up lost interest. So I wonder if like that's a very long time. I feel like I mean, I know we live in a day and age now where like television production is so much higher quality and it's comparable to feature films anymore, but
yeah.
we're still in that adjustment period of I don't think you can expect fan bases to wait so long. Granted, a lot of things happened in the universe between now and then. So I understand like Hollywood was shut down and they were navigating a whole new way to, have to work around production obstacles and stuff like that. But do you think it's possible? Like that's an extremely long hiatus between seasons and I feel like maybe people just dropped off.
I think that's fair. That's definitely reasonable.
Were there any movies in between the seasons of Mandalorian? When did Rise of Skywalker come out?
It was like December 2019. So I think Mandalorian started, and then I was either just finished or still going, and then Rise of Skywalker came out.
Rise of Skywalker.
Oh my god. In my brain, I have it like reverse. Like Rise of Skywalker
Time has really
ended.
moved in a very strange way. That's for sure.
And that's why I think that Rise of Skywalker, at least me personally, I didn't give a shit about the movie, is because we watched Mandalorian and we are like, oh, it's really good. Like most of the fandom agreed that this was really good, and then it was like, oh yeah, Rise of Skywalker, and then it just kind of suffered from the quality of Mandalorian, and compared to itself.
It insists on itself.
See ya, Sebastian. Thanks for joining us.
Later, Seabass. Rise of Skywalker premiere. December 20th, yeah. I mean, so like, do you think maybe not having films coming out like around the same time or before or whatever, kind of getting everyone excited about Star Wars is an effect here? Or do you think it's literally just the fact that the only exciting thing that people have to look forward to is Mandalorian, but even then, he's kind of always been like the B tier or the C tier for Lucasfilm in the beginning, and now it's turning into like the only thing we have. Therefore, it's like the A tier, it's like the S tier, it's like something that we need to see, but also it's like, what else are we going to have in Star Wars?
I was going to say, Mando's like, when I think of Star Wars now, Mando is carrying the franchise.
Yeah,
like
but that wasn't the intention, I don't think. I can't imagine they thought Mandalorian would be like the thing saving Star Wars, right? So
I don't think any of us could have even anticipated that. I remember being even like, what is this show even going to be about? Like, literally what? Like, I wouldn't have guessed it. And as excited and thirsty as I was for new, fresh Star Wars content, like, I would not have projected that it is the way it is now. Like, one of the most watched shows.
It's right up there with like Rogue One too, right? Like Rogue One surprised everyone, right? And everyone was freaked out, and or surprised everyone. And then anything that they had to do with characters that we already knew, they kind of failed there, right? It didn't hit the mark. Solo was decent, right? But they didn't always hit the mark when they needed to for characters that we already knew or that we're familiar with. So I don't know if that just means they should never touch characters we already know at this point, and they should just handle stuff that we haven't seen or that we haven't touched, because then we won't have expectations or whatever. But as far as I'm concerned, it feels like anything that is unfamiliar to us, we seem to like because they know that they have to throw more money at it to make it good, right?
I feel like we
So.
can't have it both ways though, because Andor's like the definition of fresh, new, okay, like totally uncharted new characters. An entire new ensemble cast of amazing new characters, but I still think that show didn't get anywhere near as much appreciation or viewership as it deserves, because I think a lot of fans were like, I don't have any vested interest in these people. Who are all of they? Where are the cameos? You know,
It did have an Academy Award nod though, so that's
true.
important. That's
That
important
is
to
true.
note, right? Like I haven't Star Wars hasn't had anything like that because it's always been just in its own realm, right? The Academy never really acknowledged it until now, and that's I think a good sign. I think from Disney execs at least to look at these things and think, oh, how is this conceived? How is this idea conceived? How did this production lay out? Where did the resources go? How much did we spend? If they're really that tight about budgeting, like just figure out what they did on Andor and apply that to all the projects, whether it's one project a year, 2 projects a year, whatever Bob Iger is going to do. There's something with that flow that they did with Andor that worked. So they definitely need to figure that out.
I think while I enjoy Andor more, and Andor is, I think, a better show in terms of writing and whatnot, I do think that Mandalorian captured something that made it obviously like the I don't know, like the prettiest girl at the dance, if you will, in terms of Star Wars content. It is.
Gave you that feeling again.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah,
think
I agree.
it's truly like for everyone. I think everyone can enjoy it. No matter if you like characters driven stories, or if you like more simplistic stuff with just kind of like a Wild West, like shoot 'em up, like Sunday cartoon kind of thing or whatever. Like it doesn't matter. You're probably gonna like The Mandalorian. So I think in terms of accessibility, they struck gold with Mandalorian. Now, what I would like to see is kind of a merger of those two things. If they could somehow blend the writing of Andor and the complexity of the characters of Andor with the accessibility of Mandalorian, and make a show with those elements, I think that'd be really good. Very easy, much easier said than done, though.
Yeah, I agree 100%. More along the lines of what I was saying too. Yeah. But there's just something about it all comes down to them understanding and knowing what the fans want and need and what these feelings are actually invoking on the audience, and not just, putting it out, looking at the numbers, how much it makes, and then deciding from there, right? I really don't know if they're taking consumer feedback into account in anything regarding Star Wars right now. So I guess we'll see.
Well,
why you always lying, Zach?
They refuse to. We keep telling them the reason why Solo failed, or why the movies didn't do too well, and it wasn't Solo, and they don't listen. They keep insisting that it was Solo, but Solo got screwed. Solo definitely got screwed.
It was in the wrong place at the wrong time, which is such a shame, because the last thing I would want is for them to look at that film and think, oh, we need to go a different style. Whereas I loved the style of story making for Solo. Granted, it had production issues. No, didn't they have to do a ton of reshoots? And
yeah, they fired the directors and then hired Ron Howard to quickly reshoot and rewrite.
Yeah, and despite all that, I effing loved it, and it's such a great time, and it still has all this amazing Star Wars pizzazz while introducing and exploring new things, and it's
a great cast too.
Yes,
great cast.
Freaking Emilia Clarke. Oh my God, we were robbed of an
Woody
alternate
Harrelson, Indy Newton,
and
Emilia Clarke.
Oh my God, what's his face? Jordan Voss, literally, and I would just hate.
Oh yeah, Voss too. I forgot he was even in it. Yeah, right.
Paul Bettany.
Paul Bettany.
I'd hate for them to think, oh, people didn't like this type of content, when it's like, no, that was really great Star Wars, in my opinion. But I know it was maybe I kind of forget, because literally only a fraction of the fan base even went to see it, so I don't even fully know what the discourse necessarily even was about that movie. But I feel like for the most part, people really enjoyed it. So that's what stinks. Same with Andor. It's I don't know what the viewership. Did we ever get full analytics on what the numbers were? Even the fact that they were trying to release it on ABC and CBS, right? Like putting it out on cable, I feel like was a kind of last ditch effort to like get some more eyes on the show, just because it was so word of mouth, like buzz surrounding it. Like I'd hate for them to think, oh, Andor didn't do that well, so people didn't like this style of content, when it's like, no, please, this is peak Star Wars. Like,
I know, right?
This is a whole new level of content.
Yeah.
It's just
Agreed.
I don't know. I would like to say that I don't lose sleep over the sequels and what they could have been, but
I lose sleep over the sequels.
I
and
lose
what
sleep
they-
over this. Yeah, I do think
Yeah.
about it still. But there's ultimately nothing we can do about it. It's in the past. It happened. All we can hope is that Lucasfilm learned from it, and that whenever they do decide to make a Star Wars movie, it's amazing and it's good and it's well thought out and well executed. But let's move on to the Bad Batch really quickly, because we have a couple more things to get to. But tonight's episode is called Pabu, and I can just for the last 6 weeks I've been imagining this word in Omega's accent. Just I can't
Pabu.
wait. Yeah, Pabu.
It's their new pet. It's their new pet.
We have to save Pabu.
That's my strategy.
Saving Pabu is my strategy. But yeah, but like Kat and I were talking about this a little bit before we went live, but there's no way that we get 3 good episodes in a row, right? There's no way.
I mean, they're on a roll, but like
it's
I feel like
like-
I'm asking too much. Like
It's like roulette where you just keep putting on black. It's like there's no way I'm gonna hit black
Yeah.
3 times in a row. It's like, and then it hits black 3 times in a row, and you're like, holy shit, I'm up 10x
Yeah,
my money.
man, it's like my highest score in bowling was I rolled a 202 once, and it was it was so much
Okay.
higher than anything I've ever done. Like, don't be impressed because it was an extreme outlier, and I hit 6 strikes straight, and every time I'd go up there to throw the ball, I would think, "There's no way I do it again," and then I just kept doing it, and that's how I feel about the Bad Batch. It's like there's no way that we're gonna get another good episode.
we only have actually though 2 more weeks left, and then the 2-episode finale. Correct?
I think so. I lose
So-
sleep over Californians in their weird time zone. Hey, it's not just us;
Californians.
it's also Oregon and Washington.
Yeah.
and other
I mean,
states.
hey, we lose sleep driving in our time zones too. So California sucks. Traffic everywhere, and then we have to wake up and drive again.
Bad.
Just repeats.
I love
constant.
California, but I also hate California. So it's kind of like you feed whatever wolf you feed inside you is the one that wins.
If they had the same income tax laws that they do in like Florida or Vegas, then I would love this. I would love this state, but
Yeah, if only.
income tax is pretty brutal.
Sequels happen, and now the good writers have to write around all the BS storyline sequels set up for them to hurt. Yeah, I kind of resent that as well.
Let
Yeah.
the past die.
Let the past die. Kill it if you have to.
Probably one of the best lines from the sequels. But
I'm still like very thirsty for sequel content, post-sequel content. Sorry, back to Pabu. I forgot what we were even talking about.
Pabu.
I feel like Pabu is a planet. That's my prediction.
That's such a weird name for a planet.
I don't
It's
know.
like it's like too specific to. It's too cute. I feel like it's an animal.
It sounds like an
Pabu.
animal or something like
Pabu.
a child would call their grandmother or something like, "Oh, that's
Oh.
Pabu. That's Pabu."
Is it an acronym? Planetary Air Force.
What?
uh,
Planetary Air Force Base Unite.
Pabu.
I don't know,
Pabu.
dude.
Well, we'll
If
see.
it's just titled Pabu, but it's never mentioned or said at all in the episode. So
Doesn't it make any sense? All right. The last thing we've got is potentially some unfortunate news. Lars Mikkelsen was interviewed very recently by I believe it was like a Swiss outlet. But let me pull up the article about whether he'd be returning in Ahsoka as Thrawn, a Danish outlet, my bad. Streaming guide Mikkelsen revealed that despite reports saying otherwise, Lucasfilm had not approached him as of yet. So it looks as though, unfortunately, it must be someone else playing Thrawn in the live-action project. And his direct quote was, Well, I've heard that, but I haven't. Just imagine this in his amazing voice. Well, I've heard that, but I haven't heard anything about it yet. Then they should have approached me, but they haven't. So it must be someone else, unfortunately. So according to him, he's not playing Thrawn, but we've seen things like this before where I think the article mentions Andrew Garfield insisting that he wasn't coming back as Spider-Man in No Way Home. So do you believe him, I guess is the question. Do you believe he's not playing Thrawn?
Not for a second. I believe it when I see it, you know, like they sign NDAs, they have all these, you know, legal hurdles that they have to dodge in interviews like this. So granted, it's harder. Like, for example, Andrew Garfield is one of the world's like best actors of his time, I feel like. And I remember seeing the clip from that interview when he was like, no, I don't know anything about it. And you could just blatantly tell, like, he knows based on his behavior. Versus...
He's like,
yeah.
I'm not playing him.
I have no idea. It's like, come on, you are literally like an Academy Award winner, if not nominee, like at least like, yeah. Let's be real. I can see right through that. So it's like, I don't believe anybody these days. Liam Neeson got all of us with the Qui-Gon, you know.
I feel like he's a really good liar, though.
Who?
I feel like Liam Neeson could be like a really good liar. I feel like he would play werewolf and like dominate everyone.
A werewolf.
Yeah.
Good game. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is such a fun game.
I better be playing Thrawn. Oh yeah, Alice. Sorry, Alice. Yes, we lost an hour by going forward an hour, so now we're gonna be an hour ahead. But I don't know if Australia times
they have theirs soon. I think England has theirs soon as well. They do it like a little bit after us. You better be playing Thrawn. I will literally build a building from the bricks. I'll shut it.
Micah did not come to play.
Dude, that imagery, man.
Micah means business.
So, Mike, I'm gonna hold you to it. You better be building a shit brick house. If he's not Thrawn, I await my picture.
Maz is at the photo ops for Celebration UK. I'm sure he's not Thrawn. So Charlie doesn't seem to believe him.
Maz is at the photo ops for Celebration.
I thought he was talking about Maz Kanata.
Yeah, so was I.
I was like, what?
I was like, wait.
But Charlie would never reference those movies, so.
Interesting. Yeah, Charlie, did you put your name in the lottery system yet? Amanda did that this morning, I guess, for the panels.
Exciting.
Kat and I will be hanging back watching the homestead.
Not even watching the live stream.
I could like live stream it like there, and you guys could pop on the live stream. Yeah.
Can you FaceTime us when you meet Ewan and Hayden, please?
Oh God.
These are my friends.
God. Oh my God, imagine. He's like, I know, like I get you on. He's like, hold on. I gotta get a better connection.
We're in the
now
picture.
I have it. Okay, time's up. I'm like, oh fuck. I can't believe I did a favor for the Bucketheads people for Ewan. Like, I swear to God, one of the interns that worked there said that he's seen it. They talked about it, and then
ask him
again.
He's like, I want you to ask him, and I'm like, okay, I'll ask him for you. And then I asked him, and he's like, so you've ever heard of the Bucketheads fan series? And he's just like, what? He's like the series on YouTube, and he's like, no.
He probably went home to his wife and was like, this freaking idiot asked me if I'd seen this.
It's like I could have done anything that would have like been of benefit to me or like anyone else, and I just was like, yeah, I'll do that for you. You know, and I was like, I could have asked anything else.
I remember you told me about it, and I looked at you like you were an insane person. I was like,
yeah.
Are you crazy? Like, that's what you did?
Yeah, I legitimately asked him, and he's just like, what was it? What was it called? And I was like, Bucketheads on YouTube. And he's just like, oh, no. And then the next person came up, and I'm just like...
He's like, security? This man's making me uncomfortable.
Meanwhile, Amanda used her time wisely and got the best hug in the universe.
Yeah.
Dude, I just sat there while she was hugging Sam Witwer and Ewan, and I'm just like, Okay, well that's happening. You done? Okay, now do I get a? Oh, I don't get a hug. Oh, okay. I'll just slip in over here then. Whatever.
Yeah, I'll have to just live by. I'm so. I really. I am going to be completely honest. When I saw that decision that allegedly they're not going to be streaming anything from this year's celebration, I was like, no, there's no way. And I totally convinced myself that this was going to be like a Netflix part 2 when they like dropped all of those new guidelines about password sharing and whatnot and like kicking people off their accounts, and then they backtracked after they saw the vitriol and backlash on the internet, and they were like, just kidding, that was premature. We weren't supposed to press the button yet to release that. Like, I really was hoping the same would happen at Lucasfilm and somebody would be like, did we accidentally say that? No,
Don't worry, I'll feed you guys all the insider info. I'll do everything I can. And then if I meet up with Star Wars Meg, I'll be sure to let you know.
Alex is just... Oh no. What happened?
What happened?
I don't know.
Am I here?
You're here. Am I here? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I got scared for a second.
Did Zach just leave?
I think he's just so salty about the fact that we are not going to Celebration. He just couldn't stand it. Poor
yeah,
Zach.
okay, well now I can finally tell everyone. So Kat, when you come with us, we got to talk about now that he's gone.
So I can reveal. No, I freaking wish. Could you imagine? Twist, guys. Tom and I are going. Sweet Lord, no. I'm so jealous.
Oh, is it up?
Like,
can you check actually really quick if it's up? If it's up, we can probably.
Is that why Zach just would have pieced out? He would have just been like, "Bye, guy."
I didn't even say anything.
He straight up didn't. Which, I mean, I'm wondering. It's also raining and like maybe windy here. I wonder if maybe his power went out or something.
Stop spoiling. It's called Chapter 19. Okay. Alrighty. We can end that here then. Guys, make it rain. We'll do emoji rain really quick.
Oh shiz! 59 minutes. It is out. That's probably why Zach
Make it rain
left.
really quick emojis, and then we will call it a day.
Does he have the video? No, he doesn't. I can't access it at least. You may find when ready. We don't have actual tonight, so our impression will have to suffice.
Kat, we have to do Succession for sure.
Dude, I'm tempted to like just film reactions to Succession. I can't believe it's the final season. I kind of want to just commemorate it and just react.
We can do like a react video together.
We can do it like Zach does. And you've joined him sometimes too, right? If you like watch on your computer. The donuts, I love it. He just puts like a timer up or something. We'll have to ask him what his system is. But that could be fun.
I'm just saying like we could like pre-record it and then just edit it down.
Oh yeah.
So we could like do it beforehand.
That could be fun. Yes.
Yeah. We could do that.
That could be fun. Ah! Oh my god, I'm so excited.
I'm down. All right, guys. May the force be with you all. What are these? Oh my god, no, don't go there. Don't go there. No.
Zach really was just like, episode's out. I'm tired. Goodbye. I'm just kidding. He loves you all. I'm sure it was an accident.